everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I'm Susan Land. I'm a psychic and a medium, and today we're going to be telling you about a real resource that you're probably not making the best use of. And we're going to dispel a lot of things that may be wrong, or clear up some things that you've been thinking about this spiritual resource. We're going to tell you what it is. We're going to teach you how to use it in this video. You have stumbled upon a video series that I have called Wisdom on Wednesdays, or WOW, and you can click on the icon at the end of this video and see all the videos in this series, which there are many, like over 80 videos on every subject you can imagine that is spiritual, from, ETs to Sasquatch, to how to raise your vibration, to your soul contracts, to earth ascension, you name it. I've done a video on it. So today we're really going to be talking about a tool and a resource that you have that you may not be using, and that is archangels. Okay, here's the deal, right? People know me as the spirit guide lady, right? Like, I'm the person who talks to my spirit guides pretty much nonstop, or they talk to me nonstop, and I just don't listen a lot. But anyway, that's called being human, isn't it? So why would I be talking about archangels? Well, because I use archangels all the time. And it's really been a disservice to you that I haven't been telling you how to use archangels. I do mention it a lot in my various videos. I mean, basically, I'm channeling these videos. There are no notes here. There's literally no script, no nothing. I just turn on the recorder and I basically try to tell you what my spirit guides are telling me. Now, it's interesting to me because they started talking. This is what they do. They started talking to me, or sending me, talking to me means, just for disclosure, right? I get thoughts in my head. I can really, because I'm clairaudient, I can hear them say things. I might have a notion. I might think about something. I might have an idea about something. I might see something advertised, or see a book, or even see a video on a title, and I know it has energy. I know. What does it mean when it has energy? It means you click on it. It means that you pull the book down and look at it. It means that you read the article. It also means that if they're chattering in your head about stop eating chocolate, you just don't listen. You do not listen, right? Okay, so that's how they can communicate to you, right? I have many videos on spirit guides, how to get guidance, how to get signs, how to know when you're getting guidance. I'm telling you guys, the end of the video, it's all right there for you, and it's free. It's your whole spiritual library for free. But today, and really for the last month, the spirit guides have been talking to me about archangels. Now, I'm also going to be doing a class on archangels on May 18th with my good friend Raphael. You can see the link in the bottom of this video, in the description of this video. It's only $39, May 18th, and it will be recorded. So if you just want to buy the recording, buy the class, and you can watch it anytime you want. It's going to go into detail about how to use this resource. But today, I'm going to start you off with some really easy tips. And it's sort of like the guides are saying, this is the beginner, this is the intro package or something, or the beginner package. I don't know what they're saying. But for real, okay, let's start with the basics. They're talking to me about, this is what they were saying before I started doing the video. Okay, some people are angel people. Some people are not angel people. How do you know if you're an angel person? Well, when I was doing readings, I would say, oh, you have a lot of angelic energy around you. Now, this isn't really typical. Honestly, angelic energy around someone, like a lot of angelic energy around somebody, is not the most typical thing, honestly. But it doesn't mean that you can't call on angels. It doesn't mean that at all. It means that angelic energy, just along with fairy energy and dragon energy, and your spirit guide energy and archangel energy, is all in your toolbox. All of these things are available to you in your human toolbox. You come as a human with a starter pack of tools, meaning you have all the tools. Honestly, you have free will. So if you even wanted to pull on some darker energy, you could do that too, right? Not suggested, but I'm just saying, you're not banned from anything. You can, of course, use archangel energy, even if you aren't Christian. I know a lot of people who use Hindu gods that aren't Hindu, I know people that call on all kinds of beautiful deities, beautiful ascended masters, whom do not practice that religion. I like to say, or I should say, the spirit guides like to say, Jesus, all these people are free agents. They work for anyone. They can be utilized by anybody. Now, if you're an angel person, it means that, you're kind of you watch this video. If I would have put in the title, learn to use archangel energy, you would have clicked on it immediately because you're an angel person. You're kind of interested in angels. Maybe you have an angel doodad on your shelf. Maybe you have an angel picture. Maybe you have wings, on your cell phone, the back of your cell. You know what I mean? It's just a thing, right? It's just that's energy that you like. Some people are drawn to fairies. Some people are drawn to dragons. Doesn't matter, right? So for those of us who are not angel people, which would be me, I don't have any angel things here. I don't work with angel energy that much, although I've done a video. I saw two freaking human angels, like for real, they were glowing. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Again, just because I don't work with the energy doesn't mean I couldn't see two angels. Do you get it? So we don't want to go through our human life without utilizing all the tools that they gave us when we incarnated in this life. I mean, who would want to do that? It's like, I'm going to drive my car and I'm not going to use the brakes. I'm just going to take my foot off the gas and turn the car back and forth until I stop. We don't want to do that. We want to use all the tools available to us, truly. Now, for me, I find that I use Archangel Michael all the time. Like, Archangel Michael is the protector, right? He's the archangel that has the sword. He's armed. And believe me when I say, if you call in Archangel Michael and you ask for protection, you're going to get it. If you believe in it. Right? Now, normally when we're asking for protection, we're in a place where we believe it, where we're like desperate for help. And we are more open to believing it because we really need the help. That means we're more open to getting the help. Okay. So if you're having a situation where you're being bothered, let's just say, by some non-physical energy. What does that mean? I've done a lot of videos on this too, right? You walk into a house, or you walk into a friend's house, or you walking down the street, whatever the situation may be, it can happen anywhere. And you get the heebie-jeebies, right? I did a whole video about what do the heebie-jeebies mean. I really did. And, the hair stands on your back of your neck, or you're like, ooh, I don't know, something's weird. You could be in your house where you've never had an odd feeling in your whole time living there. But now all of a sudden, when you go into a certain room, you're like, maybe you feel a temperature change. Maybe again, you feel something in your body, like a foreboding. That, first of all, I want to tell you guys, don't ignore that. You can get into so much worse situation by ignoring it, because that's what I do. I'm like, oh, it'll go on its own. It does not go on its own, you guys. It does not. So what you want to do right off the bat is call in Archangel Michael. How do you do that? It's pretty simple. You just have the intention, say it in your head, say it out loud, whatever you can do. If you don't want to say it out loud because, there's people around you, you can say it in your head. It's energy. They can hear you. And you can, and there are prayers. We're going to go more into this into the class, obviously, but they're basically, you just want to have the intention of that. Now, for my Catholic viewers, you guys probably know a lot more about the archangels than other people. And yes, you can say a prayer. Yes, you can do all these things. But I'm telling you right now, as a human, it is your birthright to ask for help. It is your birthright to receive the help. End of story. All you have to do is ask. Second, be open to receiving it. Third, know that it's come to you and accept it and let it go. Okay? Now, depending on your situation, sometimes calling Archangel Michael one time is great. And then other times you may need to revisit that. You may need to call Archangel back. Now, another thing, again, I'm not going to go deep into this, but I just want you to understand that this energy is here for you. It will help you. These archangels will work for you. I don't care if you're an atheist. I don't care what religion you are. They don't care because they didn't sign a contract with a religion. They signed a contract with humans. Their contract is with us, with our soul. Okay, so, and people often say, well, what if I'm bothering my angel? Or what if I'm bothering my spirit guide? Or maybe it's not serious enough to call in an archangel. Well, this is the guides want to say that this is sort of an epidemic of loss of faith, but not only loss of faith, but loss of self-love. They really feel like this is an epidemic, like humans are really not feeling worthy enough these days to ask for help. Trust me when I say you're never bothering them. They're literally their only job is to help humans. Number one. Number two, energy is fractal. That's not even a word, you guys. Fragmented, fractalized. They want to say fractalized. I don't think that's a word, but it's fractals. Basically, what they want to say is fractals. These energies like Archangel Michael or Archangel Gabriel or Archangel Metatron, they're not just one energy. They're one energy that's broken into a gazillion pieces. There's no way that we could overload them because they're self-propagating. They can grow. They can grow with the need. Okay, there's no way you're ever going to interrupt them. You're actually helping them follow their own soul path, their own reason for being is to help humans. And just imagine if we all utilize the tools that we have that is our birthright. Imagine how much happier, more joyful, more relaxed, more healthy, and more successful humans would be. And less violent, less mean. We wouldn't be those things. We would be more self-actualizing in our happiness and joy. So asking for help from an archangel actually helps them grow, right? Like, so if we go back to that picture of them saying that that they can grow with the need, right? Like they can be this big, but if the need is this big, they can be this big. And if the need is this big, they can be this big. Now imagine that for a second. If and for people who are not watching my hands and just listening, if they're the size of a grapefruit and we all start calling for their help and they grow to the size of a bowling ball, and then we continue asking for help and they grow even bigger, then what is that doing? You know what that's doing is that's love. That's love that's growing. The love, that the compassion that they're giving us is allowing them to grow in their love and compassion. And it just means there's more love and compassion. So please don't ever think that you're interrupting them. You're helping them grow in their love and compassion, which is in turn creating more love and compassion on this planet, which I think you might agree we all need, right? So let me talk about one other archangel. Again, I'm doing a class on May 18th, but just going to talk about a lot more ways and more specifically how to use them. And even though I don't work with archangel energy on the daily, it is there for me. Another one of the tools that I can draw on. Another experience I had was when my dad was nearing the end of his life. And I knew he was nearing the end of his life. It was pretty obvious to everybody. I lived several states away from him. And I recall getting out of the shower. Now, for me, a lot of times I get this kind of information in the shower because water is a conductor of energy. So sometimes you might find that you're more psychic or you have ideas even in the bathroom surrounded by all of the water pipes. I mean, it's just a place where if you think about it, you're by yourself, you don't have distractions. So anyway, I was getting out of the shower and I heard a horn. I'm clairaudient, so I hear things sometimes that are not physical. I heard this horn. And I knew because then I got my claircognizant, my psychic knowing my information. You know things, you don't know how you know them or why you know them. I heard or knew the sentence, Gabriel, blow your horn. And I thought, that's the weirdest thing. I don't know who Gabriel is. I don't know why I'm hearing a horn. And again, I'll tell you guys, when you have things that come out of left field and you're like, what does that mean? Why would I have that dream? Why would I have that vision? Why would I have that knowing? Why did I hear my name called? Whatever happens, the best thing to do is to write it down. Because if you don't write it down somewhere where you write all these things down, you won't be able to put the dots together later. It won't make sense. Your brain will just discard it. So for me, it was such a out of left field thing, literally just the weirdest thing that I went and Googled. I'm like, what is Gabriel blow your horn? Well, it turns out Gabriel is an archangel, and Gabriel is known as the communicator. I believe that he announced, if I'm not mistaken, he was the messenger of God who brought the announcement of Christ's birth to the Virgin Mary. So, whether, again, does not matter whether you're Christian or Catholic or anything at all. All that matters is that these archangels and saints even and spirit guides, all of these things are tools for you to use. So if you want to be a better communicator, you can use Archangel Gabriel. If you want to get information or you want to get a message, I mean, information is such a sterile word, but if you want to get a message from perhaps a loved one that's crossed over, you can ask for Archangel Gabriel to help you with that. In this case, for me and my dad, I knew after I understood that Archangel Gabriel was the messenger, I understood that that was my dad. My dad was being called home. Now, he didn't cross for another month or 6 weeks, but because time just doesn't really match, our time, their time just does not match at all, I knew I had a heads up. This is about my dad. My dad has started his journey home. He's being called home. Okay. So you might have had an experience in your life with Archangel Gabriel calling someone home, or you could have had an experience with Archangel Gabriel working with you to be a better communicator or to strengthen your prayers, is what they're saying, or strengthen your meditation. So that's another archangel that you can call on for help as well. There are many archangels. They all have their own role, their own unique, very different role that they can play in your life. And the last one I'll talk about in this video, in this Wisdom on Wednesdays video, is Raphael, Archangel Raphael, who is the healer. Who among us couldn't use extra healing energy? And I really feel like this is the energy I'm getting like right now, is that there really are people really do feel like I can't call on them. I'm not Christian, or I don't understand archangel energy, or I don't understand how to do it. You just have the intention. Have pure intention in your heart of, I would love to have healing. I would love to work with Archangel Raphael. Now, anytime you're working with an energy or an entity, a deity, an archangel, whatever it is that you're working with, if you're working with Jesus or you're even working with Kuan Yin, whatever it is, make a commitment, you know, make a commitment and say, I want to work with Archangel Raphael for the next 30 days. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot a picture of Archangel Raphael. I'm going to put it on my phone. I'm going to perhaps get some sort of Archangel Raphael candle. You know, they have those. If you're not familiar with this, this is actually a really, I'm telling you guys, it works. I don't know why it works. I'm just telling you it works. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I can vouch for it. Go to the dollar store, go to Walmart. You have to go to a place that sells these. Sometimes Target sells them, that you can get these cylindrical candles. And on the candle, they have Mother Mary, Archangel Michael. They have Raphael. They have a lot of the archangels. They have Jesus. Get a candle with Raphael, with Archangel Raphael on it, and light it and say your prayers to him. Now, I don't want you to ever leave a candle unattended. I mean, really, I don't. I know this is just my opinion. There are people that burn candles 24/7. My opinion is never leave a candle unattended. You're not going to start your car, put it in drive, and then walk away. You don't leave a car that's running and unattended, right? So start in being more intentional with the archangel you want to work with. Light a candle and then pray to that archangel for 30 days. Just once a day, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, once a day for 30 days. If you forget a couple of days, it doesn't matter. They don't have a calendar. They're not marking off the days. It's just you're building the energy. What you're doing is building the energy up. And that's important. The more energy you focus towards something, the more opportunity you have to attain that something or to bring that something to you. So if you're looking for healing, sometimes humans look at our broken parts of us instead of our healed parts of us. So we say, why am I so sick? Why am I in such pain? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? If only I was healthier. So flip that around and start saying, I'm bringing healing to me. I'm working with Archangel Raphael. I'm working with these beautiful energies, including my higher self, including my spirit guides and the angelic kingdom. I want to work with all these beautiful energies to help me, and I'm open to receive their help. And thank you. If you build that energy, build the energy by meditating or praying. Look, guys, a minute, 2 minutes, it's all it takes. But if you build a relationship with an archangel, especially a special, you know, all archangels kind of have their specialties, right? So you pick the archangel, like let's say you want to start writing or you want to write a book, perhaps, or you want to improve your communication with your family or your loved ones in spirit. Maybe you want to have a communication. Maybe you want to have a better relationship with Archangel Gabriel to help that along. So you can see all these resources are here for you. They are really here for you. And I just don't feel like we're using them enough. That's what my spirit guides are saying. Humans are not, we're sort of trapped. We're sort of locked looking with these blinders on at just our 9 to 5 day or our 24-hour day. You know, sleep, eat, work, worry, come home, go to bed, sleep, eat, work, worry, go to home. You know, it's like this. We've got to break the cycle. They want us to break the cycle because that cycle is, we're not going anywhere. We're stuck on this this hamster wheel of going nowhere. And one way to break out of that is to bring in the new energy of the archangels. Another archangel that I really use a lot is Metatron. And I only use Metatron because my spirit guides told me to use Metatron. I mean, I don't research this stuff. Again, by all means, go out and research archangels for yourself. Learn about them. I'm sure Google has a wealth of information about archangels and how to utilize them or how to get to know them. But for me, Archangel Metatron is specifically who I use, and very specific, not to keep repeating that word, but very specific situations. So I find for me, Archangel Metatron works when I'm dealing with aliens, when I'm dealing with time jumpers, when I'm dealing with entities or non-physical beings that are not incarnated in my, the guides wanted to call it time zone. Oh Lord. In my timeline, I guess it's a time zone, in my timeline, you know, in other words, they're not incarnated as a human on planet Earth. Everything else that is not an ancestor of mine that's crossed over, that is not an angel, that is not a spirit guide, that is not a fairy or a Sasquatch or something like that, something that's come from a completely different realm that does not typically inhabit Earth. Fairies inhabit Earth. Sasquatch inhabits Earth. Of course, they're dimensional beings, but they inhabit Earth. But when I run across an energy that is from another place completely, I have to call in Archangel Metatron to deal with that. I mean, I can call Jesus, I can call Archangel Michael, I can call my spirit guides. Nobody seems to be able to handle this in my experience, but Metatron. So I call in Metatron. Metatron does what Metatron does. You know, whatever that energy needs to do to help me, it does it. And I've seen it in every single way imaginable that I've seen Archangel Metatron help me out. Now, you can understand now that if you never even heard of archangels, you can understand now that there's a whole resource for you ready to help you. And why not get the help? So another situation they're showing me is I recently had to go on a trip to New Orleans with a Fefe who I'm teaching the class with. We were looking at locales, hotels to potentially do a class, a workshop together in New Orleans. And we couldn't get access to this hotel. And you guys got to know me by now. That's not going to stop me, not going to stop her either. So we just wandered around and we found the door was open to one of the speaking, you know, the event rooms. And I'm telling you, we cracked that door open and both of us froze like cartoon characters. We leaned our body into the door. We couldn't make our feet go into the room. we both leaned our bodies into the room like some kind of Scooby-Doo show. And we were like, whoa, what's in here? You know, and that's where you call Archangel Michael, right? That's where you get your fortitude. Now, some of you guys might have a different being that you like to call. And that's fine. If you have a spirit guide or something like that, that's fine. For a while, I did have a spirit guide that was kind of like a bouncer. You know, he looked like Mr. Clean. If you know what Mr. Clean looks like, he's bald and it's got these big muscles. That's what he looked like. I've kind of gotten to a point now where I don't need Mr. Clean so much, where I don't get into so much trouble in that way. And that's what happened, right? Fefe and I both did not go in that room because we knew if you go in this room, you're going to come out with some spiritually transmitted disease. you're going to have, this was New Orleans, by the way, right? So you're going to come out of there, you're going to need to cleanse yourself, right? So we were like, we're not going in there. But Susan, a few years ago, would have just been like, da-doop, and just gone right in there, right? And then I would have had to come out and talk to Archangel Michael and a whole bunch of other energies to figure out what the heck was going on with me. So these things can really help you, especially if you're waking up to some abilities or you're ascending in any way, your intuition is starting to come online, or you've always been a person who maybe heard bumps in the night but didn't know what they were, or maybe you have some dreams that are really disturbing, or you know, whatever the case may be. The archangels are a tool that really you should add to your own arsenal, because I can tell you, for me, when I called on my spirit guides, they were like, I mean, they were like as wide-eyed as I was. They were like, I mean, a couple of times they were like, Susan, you know, I wasn't listening. But anyway, when you call in Archangel Michael, he's a whole different level of energy. I mean, a whole different level of energy. And not humans think of things in a hierarchical way, right? We like to rank things. Of course, the universe does not rank things. But since I'm a human and I'm explaining this to you, who probably is a human, I'm going to tell you Archangel Michael is up here. Just a whole different bag of tricks, the spirit guides are saying. And sometimes we need those tricks. So there's just like a whole toolkit of archangels that are there to help you. And, you know, there's no cost, you know, there's no nothing. All you have to do is ask. So check it out, Google it, research it on your own. Check out this class I'm offering with Fefe on May 18th. You'll see the link down below, $39. It's recorded. It's an hour and a half long. It's on a Saturday. And we're going to really pack it in. Fefe and I have done classes together. We're going to do classes together in the future. And we pack it in. Let me tell you, you're going to come out of there with more information than you ever thought possible in an hour and a half. As for me, I am going to be doing some more classes. I am entering a new phase of my career. They want to say, they scare me. They really scare me. I am going to be doing an in-person event this year. I did one last year. It was truly a smashing success. We had 100 people show up in Chicago. It was life-changing. Honestly, it really was. And I'm planning my next one. So there's a lot happening. If you're new here because you just thought, let me check out this woman, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because a lot is happening, and a lot that's happening is going to help you specifically. Okay. Leave me your comments. Hey, if you're an archangel aficionado, I can't believe they made me say that name, that word. Leave your comment below. I want to hear your archangel stories. We all learn when we all share. And if you watch any of my WoW videos, the first thing I want you to do after you watch the video is go into comments, because I have the best comments on YouTube. I promise you, I really do have the best commenters on YouTube. You guys are like metaphysical PhDs that watch these videos, and sharing your experiences helps us all understand how we can be the same. How yes, I had that experience. Oh my gosh, I didn't know anybody ever had that experience. Now I see you've had it. Now I don't feel so alone. Now I don't feel so weird. Now I think I found my people. Speaking of that, last thing I'll say is I do have an online community. Talk about finding your people. It's about 400 people right now, and it is basically a spiritual Facebook. It is not Facebook, nothing to do with Facebook, but it's a spiritual social media site where you can post your own post. You can chat with everybody. You can talk about the dream you had last night. You can talk about a video you saw of somebody or a book you read, or you can just ask questions. It's really surpassed my wildest dreams, honestly. And I finally think I got an A+ from my spirit guides. So I'm thrilled about that as well. I'll leave that information down in the description of this video. I hope you found something new and useful about archangels. Take really, really good care of yourselves. I'll see you again next Wednesday.